So I'm sure you've seen my video where I talk about the flavor of the week being that Destiny 2 pre-order sales are down. Well, a few weeks ago, the flavor of the week was The Truth by Grenader Jake, where he basically talks about how the game is not dying, it's as fun as it's ever been, and if you're not enjoying it, it's your fault. And that's because if you eat the same thing for every meal and you expect something different, that's on you. You order the same thing because you enjoy it. You don't expect them to change up the dish because you aren't enjoying it because other people, new people, come in and still love the dish. And I don't agree with Jake one bit. And that's because video games are supposed to be innovative. Food isn't supposed to be innovative, which is why I think it was a poor analogy. While I do understand where he's coming from, it's not Bungie's job to change the game to cater to any one individual and their needs, but it is Bungie's job to innovate on the game, make changes to the game that make players want to keep playing. The game should be updated constantly to give us content to play. A great example of that is when a brand new season drops. We have new story, we have Grandmasters dropping with new loot. A few weeks after that, we have Trials dropping with new loot. We have Iron Banner coming back a few weeks after the season starts with, again, brand new loot. And then we have Gambit, which exists and has new loot, and nobody typically cares unless it's breakneck. It's a drag to do this or to do that, or then there's no content to do. So I think, personally, the game either needs to be more considerate of people's time or it needs to be less considerate of people's time. You either need to invest in the casuals, get tons of people playing the game for short periods of time, which I don't think is sustainable, or you need to make the game so grindy that you have no choice but to play every waking moment of every day of your life to be able to get the gear that you need. And sure, I don't think it should be either one of those extremes, but I think the game in general does need more content and simultaneously does need to be more forgiving of your time. Destiny has been the most forgiving of your time this year because of the extensive season we've had this last season. And the loot was okay, but they made it super easy to get. So they made the longest season in Destiny history have some of the best and most mediocre loot I've ever seen in the game, and also made it super easy to get to where I had pretty much everything I wanted crafted within a few days, few weeks of the season dropping. Jake also says that he thinks the final shape is the final DLC for Destiny 2. I think we're going to see the final shape release. We're going to see support in for next-gen consoles after the final episode that we'll get for this year of Destiny. So after episode 3, I think last-gen consoles will be dropped. I think that they will do some updates to the game that last gen couldn't handle. I think from there we see some great quality of life updates and small content drops moving forward. I talked about that in my Borderlands Destiny video. And then I think after maybe a year or two of silence and a bunch of good updates, we get big content drops back. Because while they were doing some of these back-end, maybe server updates or engine updates or what have you, there was another team working on a ton of content, basically what the story was going to be moving forward, and just a ton of content will kind of be pre-made and ready to roll out, and then it just will need to be polished, hopefully. I think is the best case scenario, but something to that effect moving forward. Jake also goes on about cheaters and everything. As a console player, I don't have to deal with cheaters a whole lot. I do have to deal with Cronus and Zem players, and it's really hard to tell when a console player is just really good compared to if they just have a Cronus or Zem. Normally I just look to see if their KD jumped up over a season, and if it has, then I report them because more than likely they have some kind of third-party device allowing them to be better at the game. And they talk about Cronus and Zem and how they don't know how to really combat that. It's actually pretty easy for them to see if there's third-party software hooked into your console. Xbox is already implementing those features on console to like remove third-party controllers. So yeah, it'd probably be pretty easy for them to do moving forward. Anyways, with that being said, that's my final rant on the flavor of the week for last week. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. Click the notification bell so you get notified when I make new videos like this, because I talk about all Destiny 2 topics all the time. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever it may be. Let me know in the comments what you think about this flavor of the week, or basically any Destiny drama, because it's probably something different by the time this video gets posted.